Hey guys, so we're working on this idea of moving from presentational acting to three-dimensional. And so this is called the actor in transition. And sort of like we talk about a lot of times, how do we internalize our acting more and not just act sorry, I just found a picture of my son when he was actually little. He's a giant now. So anyway, so that's what we want to look at, okay? Oh, and my wife is talking about it. Okay, so your bell ringer, hopefully you've done it for the day. Answer those three questions online. And talking about sort of how you've started in acting, but how you're doing now. So don't judge yourself based on what you know now, but when you first did it, what role did you play? How did you prepare for that role? And what did you do very well that you remember, that you were proud of? So what's our objective? We want to see how the idea of objective and goal, obstacle, and action idea are the powerful building blocks of acting and to practice using verbs as tactics. Okay, this is stuff we work on a lot in one act play, and we want to start using this as common vernacular, common things that we talk about in class. Okay, so many times we choose an emotion first type of acting instead of active choices. So we're like, I want to be sad or I want to make someone sad. The problem is to be sad, like you don't just sit around and you just are sad. Like we're sad because things happen, they make us sad. And we can't control how another person feels. So we can't make that a tactic that we do. Instead, we can say, I want to make this person walk away. That's a physical thing. So now what can I do to make them walk away? And that's objective. What's an obstacle? Well, the obstacle is they're not walking away. So what is the tactic I'm going to use? I can say, well, there's a fire, so now they have to walk away. I can go and I'm going to confront them, and so then they're going to have a choice of either walking away or they're going to come back at me. But I'm having active choices, and that's what I'm trying to focus on. And then from those active choices, emotions are going to happen because emotions are natural byproducts of being human. So emotions on stage should be natural byproducts of the choices, the tactics that we're employing for our objectives to try to overcome our obstacles. So think about this. What are the first steps you take when taking on a role you haven't done before? I'm going to put these up and I want you to answer these, okay? What kind of choices are you expected to make as an actor? So if you're acting, what are you supposed to do outside of rehearsal before you get there? The choices you're allowed to make, not that a director tells you. And what is the role of emotion in your acting? We got music now, so I'll speak a little louder. There's a game that we played in class, and you can play this if you have people at home. The idea is there's a chair and a goal. So if you're sitting in the chair, your goal is to stay seated in the chair. If you're not seated in the chair, if you're standing, your goal is to get them out of the chair. But if you're in the chair, you can only answer in the affirmative, okay? So if I'm sitting in the chair and you say, hey, there's a fire, I have to agree that there is a fire, but then I also have to have a reason why I'm not leaving the chair, right? So, hey, there's a fire. Yes, I know I have an extinguisher. So now I have a reason of why I'm not moving in the fire, but I'm not saying no, there's not a fire, right? I'm playing in the affirmative. I want you to play a few rounds of this with either come up and play with the idea of it in your head and do it, or get other people in your house to join the game with you, okay? And then think about this. Is it easy or hard? What kind of tactics are effective at getting people out of the chair? And then think of verbs as tactics. What are you going to do to get them to leave the chair? So these are just questions. If you're a stander, what's a good scenario that should have moved you or sitter but didn't? So if you came up with a good idea and it didn't move someone, how does that make you feel? And again, that's going to affect you emotionally before you try again. And the same is true on stage. When you try a tactic, it doesn't work. It's going to affect you before you try that next one. Same thing if you're a sitter. So on stage, each person has an objective. In the game, the objective was get the chair. On stage, you need to have an objective. What are you doing? And then you have an obstacle. What's stopping you from doing the thing that you're trying to do, right? So in the game, the sitter wants to stay in the chair. The stander wants to get the chair. And then each person has an action or a tactic. The tactic is a verb. What are you doing? What are you using to achieve your objective, right? So think about emotions as a byproduct. Whenever we play games, emotions aren't something that we mean to feel. They just sort of happen, right? Should we plan them out, or would they evolve from objectives, objectives, obstacles, and tactics? They should evolve, right? It's something that we should not plan out and say, I'm trying to be sad. Instead, I'm trying to do this and I'm not getting what I want. So it's causing me to feel this way. That's where authentic acting comes from. So think about that an audience needs to follow the plot of a show, the objectives, the obstacles, the tactics, rather than just the emotions of a show. Instead of just trying to get them to feel things, we should be taking them on a journey of here's what I'm trying to do, here's what's in my way, and here's what I'm going to employ to try to get around what's in my way. Think about how if you pick strong objectives and you play strong tactics, that can lead to more authentic emotions and emotions on stage between your fellow actors, right? I'm not going to try to be angry. I want to get the chair. I can't get the chair. That makes me angry. And then focus on specific, concrete, active choices rather than emotional choices. That's all that we're thinking about. Play the game, okay? Play the game, play the game, play the game. Find people in your house, play the game. I'll try to film us playing the game in here, maybe throw one up for you. But that's what we're working on right now, okay? We're working on this idea of objectives, obstacles, and tactics and how we can play those. Also, side note, if you didn't submit an audition video, you have to audition for every show. You don't have to accept parts. But even if you're an online student, if you guys aren't submitting videos, you're going to rack up zeros on exam grades, okay? So you've got to do that. So please get those in. All right. I'll check in with you soon. I'll talk to you later. Bye.